So our next guest has a very impressive CV, stand-up comedian, Hollywood actor, super marathon runner, and lots more beside. Very recognisable face and voice. It's none other than Eddie Izzard. Hello, Eddie.
Hello.
Seeing as it's breakfast, I'd have to start off by asking you, are you a morning person?
There's an age when you're growing up, at a certain point you jump up and you start playing with Lego and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was a point, I don't know when that kicked over, about 7. I remember some friends, they had this amazing Lego. We used to wake up. Anyway, so back to 7, then I was a morning person. After that, it was all downhill until I started doing filming, because filming, you get up incredibly early, so you've got to be kind of ready for that, and also marathon running, which I had to get up and start marathon running again. So I used to get up at 6 in the morning and try and run the bath to get in so I could move my legs, because my legs wouldn't move. So I'm kind of a half, because stand-up comedy is a nighttime person thing.
Yeah.
So I'm a mixture of a nighttime and a morning person, which doesn't make any sense.
Wow, well look, let's get into the running in a moment, because
Right.
what you have achieved is incredible and you're continuing to work on that. But we're here to talk about Force Majeure.
Indeed, Force Majeure.
Is this your biggest tour to date? Because I couldn't believe the countries you're going to. Europe, USA, even though Europe is a continent, I am aware of that. Africa, Russia, Australia, New Zealand, India, Nepal and the Far East. I mean, that is impressive. To think you can make people laugh in all those countries is amazing.
Well, yeah, and it's I'm trying not to play expat people, British people who are living abroad. It's like in Berlin, I am going to be playing to German kids. In Vienna, I'm playing to Austrian kids. Istanbul, Belgrade. So it's the most extensive comedy tour ever. I go around claiming things. It just seems like you may as well do that. I don't think anyone has played so many countries, and I am excited. I'm actively excited. I'm also doing French tour. I'm doing this Friday, the first ever French tour in French by an English person starts. So no one's ever done that before.
So you're a fluent French speaker. How did that come about?
Well, I just learned at school and then just kept pushing it. And then 2 years ago, I did 3 months in Paris, so 6 gigs a week, and that gets you kind of fluent. I'm 60% fluent. I'm not perfectly fluent. I'm about 60% fluent. So, like, I was doing interviews in Paris yesterday, and the press guy was saying, "Yeah, you didn't get that quite right." I said, "I know, I'm not perfect yet." So,
but to stand in front of an audience of French people and speak their language and make them laugh. Do they laugh at the same things that English people do? Do you just translate your stand-up word for word?
Yes, because I make it all universal, and I had a joke about sharks in the old show where I said that sharks should have been on the ark because they should have saved 2 sharks, because sharks are generally bad. There's no good sharks. There's no shark to save. We found a little child. They were splashing about. We decided to save the kid's life. No, the kid only had 1 leg to begin with. I don't know who that was. So that was the joke in English. And in French, it's exactly the same. Non, il avait seulement une jambe quand nous l'avons trouvé. And that's exactly, the laugh is the same fatness. It's a big, fat laugh, that one. And it's the same in French as it is in English.
It sounds so much sexier in French, though.
Well, it does sound differently. I got so used to it now. I just sort of banter away in French.
So you're touring across the States. Is that as much of a big deal to a comedian as it would be to a band?
Yeah, I do think there's a whole psychological thing, because it ends up with this capital of Hollywood. And so, actually it's slightly different for bands. But anyway, it's a big place for bands, because they can't get a film career out of it. But we can actually get a film career out of playing through America. So from 1996 I started playing America, and now I've played Hollywood Bowl, Madison Square Garden. What
about Hollywood then? I mean, you're known there. Did that help with America? Because you've been in a huge range of films, from The Oceans, 12 and 13 to many, many more. Did that come because you became well known, or was that something you
No, that was something I fought for. I mean, I wanted to do dramas and I wanted to do stand-up comedy, and so if normally you get good at touring and doing stand-up comedy, they would say go into this comedy film, and I haven't really done those, so that kind of annoys agents normally. So at the moment I just finished filming the 2nd episode of the new Hannibal Lecter TV series that's coming out in America. So that's great to be able to be doing that, and then to just jump back into doing surreal comedy and then go off and do a tour of France in French. That seems pretty good to me.
What about Sport Relief then? How did that come about? Because that was an incredible achievement. And remind people what you did.
Well, I ran 43 marathons around the United Kingdom and took 1 day off a week, so it took 51 days. And they were looking for people to do challenges, so I said I'd like to do that challenge, and that was probably a bigger challenge than they expected. But it was very touch and go at the beginning. we didn't know. We started with, I just twittered out when I was starting it, because I didn't know. I knew I could do one. I felt I could do one. 2 in 2 days, maybe 3 in 3 days. But after that, each one was like, can I do 4 in 4 days? Can I do 5 in 5 days?
Really? It was that, well, I suppose you can't ever try it once. You have to just go.
I knew I was determined, but I didn't know what would happen. And my toes started shredding after day 3. So really the mark of getting through it was between day 3 and about day 8 or 9. Once I got to day 10, I remember this is my 10th marathon. And I was up in Brecon in Wales, and I'd just gone up this big long run up this long hill up into the Brecon Beacons. And I thought, maybe I can do this, because it was 10 marathons and my feet had started to heal. And I was running through the pain. That was the weird thing. You know, so your toes are shredding because the rain, and you're keeping going and trying to heal them while you're tearing at them. And it doesn't kind of make any sense. But I managed to get there with surgical spirit. I just doused them with surgical spirit.
And you did it. How much money did you finally raise?
And it was with the help of the big organisation. It was £1.8 million. So
wow.
And you're 4 million euros.
Still running. You're still doing stuff now.
Yes, I'm going to do Nelson Mandela. I tried to do 27 marathons for Nelson Mandela last year. I'll go back and repeat that next March, hopefully. Amazing.
Well, you're in Dublin on the 26th of May. Tickets are on sale now.
Yes, indeed.
Are you the force majeure? Is that why it's called that?
Well, that's a very interesting point. Force majeure means act of God or force of nature. And acts of God tend to be floods, famines, things, all these negative things, rather than, hey, everyone's got lemonade today. So I'm saying I don't believe that God's going to give us one of these things. I don't think he's there. So we need to be our own force majeures. I encourage people, the people of Ireland, to be their own energy sources, to be determined, to have an open mind and open heart, and try and go out and do things and help other people if they've got any spare energy.
Well, you're certainly leading by example. Eddie Izzard, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.